Welcome to Wealth Coffee Chats, folks, for your daily live updates. Get the most out of today's episode by participating in the chat. Make sure you ask some questions, be part of the conversation, have a bit of fun, grab a coffee or a tea, take some notes, and get ready to start your day, folks. Quick few housekeeping rules, though. No spamming, no advertising or self-promotion in the chat. That's not on. Be kind and respectful to everyone when participating. And most of all, have a good time. Real estate investing can be your biggest asset. It also can be your most expensive asset when it comes to getting it right or getting it wrong, folks. It can be time-consuming, stressful, and that's why here at Positive, we have what's called a 6-star team, a full-service team that provides integrated wealth and property investing solutions and services simply designed to help you progress towards your goal of passive income through your property portfolio, folks. Make sure you check out our other podcasts on the Positive Mentor Network. Not only is there Wealth Coffee Chats, there's the Urban Property Investor. Drops every Wednesday with straight talking investing strategies and lessons with Sam Saggers. Property Investor Tales. This is where our clients, you guys, share real life stories from property investing, hosted by some of our advisors and strategists. And that's done every fortnight, dropping every Monday. Wealth, Wine and Wisdom, folks, that debriefs the week that was in the world of finance and property, hosted by yours truly, Jason Witten and Andy Fenton on Fridays. Hey, good morning, folks.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another Wealth Coffee Chat.
Hope you're well, folks, wherever you are.
There it is, team. Morning. Morning, wherever you're tuning in from today.
Early bird gets the worm, they say. Here at Positive, we offer a 6-star team. It's a team that help you at every stage of your wealth creation journey.
Good morning. Lovely to see some of you already here this morning. I'm tuning in from Brisbane, and I want to share a quick personal story. Yesterday, I was at a beautiful birthday for someone who was turning 79 and celebrating that special moment. And I got a text on my phone saying my flight on Monday to Brisbane had been cancelled. And I was like, right, okay, what do I do? So I called work, told them what had happened. And within 30 minutes, I was actually at the airport ready to board a plane. I jumped on the plane, which was a little bit delayed, ended up in Sydney, had to run through Sydney airport like a crazy lady, got on the next plane, but by the time I made it to Brisbane, I arrived without my luggage. So don't tell anybody, but I'm still wearing the same dress as yesterday. But the moral to my story is that the reason I managed to actually get to Brisbane and not miss this event that I needed to attend for work was because I was ready. And I often talk to clients about being ready, and it is super, super important because we miss out on opportunities. But I want to share a little story about a client of mine called Alex. He's a lovely guy, young investor. And when I first met him, just before he joined Positive Real Estate, he had 2 properties and he was in a very slow process of trying to acquire his 3rd property. He may be young, but he admitted that he'd been in delay. Okay. I'm wondering if anybody else has experienced delay in property. Anyway, he had signed 2 contracts over a year and a half ago for a house and land build. And he paid a deposit for both. And he's been repeatedly told that the land settlement has been delayed. So it was meant to happen in 2024. He kept being told it was going to happen in 2025. And then he was told it would happen by the end of 2025. And then he was told it was going to be pushed back possibly to April 2026. Now, one could argue that at least he had time in the market. However, what he feared was then, what will happen and how long has it been and what's going to happen next and what's the cost, what happens if the contract for the actual build changes and they put the price up. So he had a lot of doubts and fears around that. So he joined Positive Real Estate. And what we did is a full analysis of his current portfolio. We also reviewed all of his, current properties, how they're performing, what do they look like. And we also looked at what his goals were and when did he actually want to achieve them. Morning, Caroline. Hope the weather's lovely down in Tassie. Now, the house and land project that he had was really actually putting a spanner in the works and actually delaying him being able to take another step. Yeah. So Alex and I, we basically met several times and we discussed different scenarios. What would they look like? We did some number crunching. We were weighing up goals and looking at the timelines. And, I suggested let's start by having a chat to one of the brokers so that we can get some clarity. So with that expert advice as to what his options were in regards to refinancing and accessing equity from his current loans, some other options were uncovered that he hadn't actually thought of. He also got some legal advice around what he was liable for and what could be done in his situation with the contracts that he'd already signed. So Alex decided to use the sunset clause in order to get a move on. So now, not everyone wants to make a decision like this because there's always a what if, right? And that's part of what delays us and gets us stuck. But when you look at options and you're flexible and you're not stuck on one decision because that's the one decision you've made, and you've got a mindset that really stops you and says you can't change your mind once you've committed to it. Do you know what I mean? So with the support of our property consultants, Haley, Alex started looking at some house and land options that we have available, and he loved them. But the market had changed a lot and had risen in price substantially from when he first attempted to buy house and land. So the price for the house and land that he wanted is currently out of his reach. But he could do it. He's pretty close, but it's risky, right? Because it would leave him without a buffer, and having a buffer and ensuring you can service your loans is important. And for Alex, lifestyle and having choices are important to him. He isn't open to eating beans on toast and not having holidays for years because he bought property, right? So I wonder if anybody else here has delayed in buying property because they've got this fear that, well, if I buy property, that's it. We're not going to be able to do anything, and all we're going to be doing is paying off the property. Has anybody had that fear? Because we don't want to trade in our lifestyle. We kind of want to live whilst we're building our wealth, right? So again, we looked at what his priorities were, but also what was important to him. Yeah. So what I've loved about working with Alex is his ability to be flexible and open to learning and making the time to watch our educational client exclusive webinars. That has really enabled him to think outside what he was familiar and comfortable with and embrace other opportunities, because he's realized that the delay in the build has actually cost quite a bit on him building his portfolio. So with the help of the property consultant, Alex has been able to look at what the property cycle is doing right now and understand the different drivers from the data and the research and see what's actually possible. So let's just fast forward to now, and Alex basically has used the sunset clause to get out of the land contract, but he did lose $10,000 on the construction contract. Now, we won't go into cost of loss of time in the market, but what I admire most about Alex is he hasn't used that as a sign to give up. Oh, it's so hard. Properties, it's too much. It's too difficult. It's too stressful, and it didn't work out. And all the other things that we can think up to, have a reason why to not do more. But he used it as a lesson and said, okay, done. We can't change that. What's next? So next, he's pivoted and he's now in the process of buying a lovely 2-bedroom unit in Sydney that is built. It's brand new and it's ready for a tenant. So he doesn't have to wait for the build and he doesn't have that uncertainty. Okay. So there are times in life when things don't go to plan, such as me not getting on a plane yesterday, but getting on a plane last night. Hence, you've got a view of Brisbane River in my background. But it's important to let go of trying to change the things that are out of your control, such as rates, for example, and take control of the things that you can change. So if you're a client and you'd like to do a portfolio review, get in touch with your coach. Don't delay. Have a look, see what your options are. And if you're not yet a client and like to know more about how we help our clients, please also get in touch. And, we always love chatting to people just to give them an idea of what is possible. Okay. And if you're still unsure, come back tomorrow, join in every day for Wealth Coffee Chats, same time, same time every day. And each day of the week, we have different experts from across our 6-star team to give you tips and updates on what's happening in the industry. So I wish you all a beautiful day, be flexible, and I look forward to seeing you all soon.
Thanks for watching another episode of Wealth Coffee Chat, folks. Make sure you like, subscribe, and turn on your notifications so you never miss a thing when we go live. Improve your portfolio and investing game, folks, with Wealth Coffee Chats live every morning at 8:10 each weekday. Make sure you join us. Previous episodes are also available wherever you get your podcasts, folks, as well as our other podcasts from the 6-Star team here at positivementor.com.au.